we get started, I wanted to give you a little background on how the craft this week came about. I'm going to start off by showing you this kind of dated video from an animated film made in 2009. It opens up with Moses just receiving word from Pharaoh that the people of Egypt, the Hebrew people, may leave. Take a look.
God has blessed you, my brother.
God has blessed us all. Remember this day. This day, the hand of the Lord broke the chains of slavery. What?
I'm glad I guarded your basket. You cried your head off that night.
If it wasn't for you, perhaps God wouldn't have chosen me.
That's what big sisters are for. God works through us, too.
God works through big sisters. In our first lesson on Moses, we talked about the importance of women in his life. And that led us to look into Miriam a little more. The big sister who pulled Moses out of the Nile River. That brought us to find this awesome book, A Brave Big Sister, a Bible story about Miriam. It's written by Rachel Spear Weaver and Anna Haggard, and it has gorgeous illustrations by Eric Elwell. I'm not going to read the whole book to you, but I wanted to show you some of the beautiful illustrations, and the idea for our craft came from this. Enjoy. When Miriam and Moses grew up, God chose them and their brother Aaron to lead the Hebrew people out of slavery. God equipped Miriam with a beautiful voice to sing and to speak up for her people as a prophet. And God asked Moses to lead the people from Egypt away from Pharaoh. With God's guidance, Miriam, Moses, and the other Israelites fled Egypt all the way to the Red Sea. But while they were on their way, Pharaoh changed his mind. From his throne, Pharaoh shouted, "What have I done? I have lost all of my slaves. Who will build my palaces? Who will harvest my fields? Who will take care of my horses?" So he ordered his military officers to ready his great army of chariots. "We will return the Hebrew slaves to Egypt," Pharaoh said as he led his fierce army through the desert in pursuit of the Israelites. That evening, Miriam looked across the path the Israelites had followed. She saw the approaching army. "Moses, it's Pharaoh," she cried. Before her were the crystal blue waters of the Red Sea. Behind her was Pharaoh leading his mighty army of chariots. "We are trapped." Miriam prayed, God, you saved Moses from Pharaoh when he was a little baby. You can do anything. Please rescue us from Pharaoh again. God said, Moses, raise your staff over the sea. Moses raised his shepherd's staff before the sea. A strong wind blew toward the sea, making a path between the waters. Miriam, Moses, and all the Israelites walked between two walls of water. The wind roared as it held the water in place. The air smelled like salt and fish. Under her feet, Miriam felt dry sand. After hours of walking, Miriam and all the Israelites stepped from the Red Sea into the desert. Moses lifted his staff over the water. The walls of water crashed together, covering the path of the Israelites. God had protected the Israelites, and Pharaoh's army had been swallowed by the sea. In awe, everyone was silent. Then Miriam took her brother Moses by the arm. All the people began to sing, worshiping God for his great miracle. Then Miriam took her tambourine. Come, she shouted to all the women and girls, let's dance to celebrate. Beating the rhythm with her tambourine, Miriam began to dance. Her tambourine sounded, ring, jingle, jangle, ring. Following Miriam's lead, hundreds of thousands of girls and women began to play their tambourines together. Quietly at first, ring, jingle, jangle, cha-cha-cha-cha, ring. And then louder and faster, ring, jingle, jangle, cha-cha-cha, ring. The girls and women danced with Miriam. The desert echoed with music. That's why today we will be making a tambourine. Hi friends, welcome to the fourth craft activity in our Moses unit. We're making a tambourine this week in memory of Miriam's playing her tambourine in celebration after the Hebrews escaped from Egypt and made it across the Red Sea. Hope you enjoy this craft. I had fun doing it myself. All right, guys, are you ready to make a tambourine like the one that Miriam used when she was celebrating their passage across the Red Sea? Let's see what's in the bag. We've got 2 hoops. We've got a piece of paper with notches cut out of it, some colored pencils, and there's some bells, which wouldn't be a tambourine without the bells, right? All right, let's see how we're going to start working on this. Okay, the first thing we're going to do on our tambourines is use our colored pencils to start decorating our words here. Sing to the Lord. And that was actually part of the lyrics of the song that Miriam, Moses' older sister, sang in her celebration. So our tambourines are going to have her words on it. Okay, check back with me in a second and we'll start assembling this. All right, I've finished coloring one here. What I'm going to do now is flip it over and gently flip up each of these little tabs because they're going to go around one of our wooden hoops. Get these, just fold them over gently. Work my way around it. And if I'm not mistaken, there are like 30 of them because I cut them out. There we go. Just so they have a little bend in them. Now, I'm very proud of this design here. I have on the one that's white, double stick tape already applied to the hoop. You need to find the end and peel the paper off. Let's see if this will work for us. But leave the double stick tape behind. There it is. Yep, it's sticky. So I'm gonna peel off that paper, set it aside. All right, so I've got my paper off. This is now very sticky. And go on and lay those little tabs that you just so carefully folded up. Go on and lay them back down because we're gonna be centering this piece of wood right down on the edge. That looks pretty good. Now, pull them back up and let them stick to our double stick tape. And that should give us a pretty good solid seal there. Excellent. All right, we have 6 bells. So let's work our way around the hoop and just tie these on. I don't want the knot itself to be on the inside. I'll go on and let you know that because this hoop is going to be a tight fit around this hoop. And so we don't want big knotted pieces of string in there. So if you have your little knot sort of up on the top there, plus you end up with a little decorative piece of string hanging off to make it look like a little fun instrument. All right, check back in a second and we'll be finishing this up. All right, got some bells on here. Now we need to assemble everything. One of the neat things about these embroidery hoops, and that's what these 2 wooden things are, they're embroidery hoops, they're used for sewing, is they have an adjustable little widget here. And by loosening this screw at the top, it expands the wooden frame. So right now, I've tried to get all of my knots kind of on the outside and the extra string kind of pulled away here. And the bells on the outside. Looks pretty good. And this is just about as open as this embroidery hoop will go, which is what you'll need. And then lower your hoop with your coloring page down inside there until it fits nice and snugly. And if it's a little bit loose, at that point, you can twist this knob, and so it tightens the wooden outside ring and makes a nice tight fit. And so you end up with the tambourine. Be a little gentle. This is paper. It's called vellum paper, and it's pretty tough. But I can see how if you tried to punch it or something, it might rip. But have fun with your tambourine and think of the celebration that Miriam and the Hebrew people had when they made it across the Red Sea. Sing to the Lord, sing to the Lord.